Course.
Good.
So, hello and welcome everyone from all around the world. I'm Sabine from Belgium, and I'm truly happy and grateful to have you here with us. Today is all about mindset, growth, leadership, and what it really takes to build something meaningful on a global level. And honestly, we could not have a better guest for this conversation. It is such an honor to welcome someone who has inspired people around the world for more than 20 years through his leadership, wisdom, consistency, and heart. Robert Gridelli. Bob is recognized by many as one of the pioneering leaders in the Enetic community. And over the years, he has mentored and guided thousands of people internationally. So I invite everyone to really lean in, take notes, open your mind, and enjoy this conversation. Bob, thank you so much for being here with us. And before we start, as you all know, behind every global business is a human story. So, Bob, if you could share one thing with us today, your story, your vision, or maybe your biggest lesson, where would you like to start?
Sure. Hello, everybody. I'm so excited to be here. So many people
Awesome.
from all different parts of the world. Exciting. And I'm sitting here in Fountain Valley, California. Not in my house, but I'm in Tan Nguyen's Global Kangen Water Store. And all my family's next door eating. So we happen to frequent this area. Every week we're around here. We live in Irvine, California, about 30 minutes from here. But we're in this area every week, and we usually pop in here and say hello and pick one of the restaurants that are in this shopping center here. There's a chain of restaurants we like here that's really good. But I'm excited to be here. Excited to share our story. I know some of you may be new in the business, right? How many how many people are, let's say, a year or less in the business? Uh, Give me a fire. A year or less. Or yeah, or a thumbs up, whatever you want to give. Okay, thumbs up, year or less. Okay, awesome. How about how many people are say 5 years or less in the business? Okay, awesome. Awesome. So so it was actually, you said more than 20 years for me?
Mm-hmm.
Not exactly. I haven't hit my 20th anniversary yet. We just
Oh,
we just passed anniversary number 19 in April of this year.
Oh,
So so next year will be the big 20 years. Hard to believe, you guys. I mean, over 19 years has passed since I was introduced to this amazing technology through a friend of mine, uh, just via telephone call at first. And my friend Arlene called me up, asked me if I had ever heard of Kangen water. I said, no, what's that? Like a lot of people today, right? Uh, she invited me down to a Kangen water demonstration. That was April of '07. So prior to Enagic, a little bit of my journey. For half my life, I was an entrepreneur. Half my life, I was in the automotive trim industry and had a business where I serviced car dealers for aftermarket accessories. And that originally started in the Chicagoland area where I grew up. I'm of Italian descent. My grandparents came over from Italy. That's why we went to the Italian event a few months ago. I don't know if you guys saw any of our postings, but we were in Riccione, Italy, speaking at the Italian event with like 1,200 people, with Giordano and Colton there and some of their leaders, and they had an amazing event. And they asked me to speak there, so we went and spoke there. And then I brought the whole family, and then we traveled around Italy, a little bit of Germany, and Amsterdam for about 5 weeks. And so it was an amazing trip. So I'm excited to see we have a growing European community on here today also. Next time we'll have to go to UK. I see a number of people from UK on here. But so when I was introduced to Enagic, I went down, saw a product demonstration, saw this 2.5 hour presentation, way too long. Okay. And it was way too much information. I sat in the back of the room, and even me with some experience in the direct sales industry, because I had attempted some other companies prior to Enagic with not too much success. Most of them went out of business. Most of them were new companies that were startups, and we all would know what happens with startups, right? 95% of them don't last 2 to 5 years. So, and then I spent a little bit of time in a bigger company with small ticket products like, supplements, vitamins, skincare, all that. Didn't have a great success in that company. And then I went down, saw the Enagic product demonstration. And what I left with that demonstration was not all the information that was packed into it, too much information. But what the visual of the product demonstration is what stood out in my mind, right? The testing of the waters, the little science project, right? That's the fun part of the demonstration. So that stood out in my mind, and I could no longer, after seeing that, I couldn't unsee it. So I could no longer go back to drinking bottled water after I saw that demonstration. And I invested in the Enagic technology. That was the best unit at the time. Our best unit was the SD501. We didn't even have a K8 back then. And just as a customer. So my idea was I'm just going to be a customer, right? Because I thought I had to be a water expert when I saw Michael Maxwell do this long demonstration with Eli Daffish, and who was a motivational speaker. And I thought I had to learn too much in my own head. But I bought a machine. I started using it, right? I guess I can say my testimonial. Is this being recorded? It's just for you guys' group? Sabine, okay, it's being recorded. Okay.
Yes, it's being
But
recorded.
it's just for you guys' group. I have to be careful about, we can barely say anything in our testimonials anymore. They call it a medical claim. So I'll say it in this way. I started drinking the water. Within a matter of weeks, I had an amazing transformation. Okay. Which compelled me, just like, what do we do when something good happens to us? We eat at a good restaurant. We tell the people we care about. Something else, we go to a good movie, we tell people about it. Well, I had been drinking water for 49 years of my life, and I never experienced the transformation from drinking Kangen water like I did any other water. So it became a big deal to me. And I started sharing with the people I cared about. And they started getting amazing results also. And back then we had no tools like we have today. There was no social media, you guys. There was no online demonstrations. All we had was a simple little DVD, a little disc that you guys don't even see anymore because they're obsolete, right? Nobody uses DVDs anymore. But that's all we had back then as a tool that had the demonstration on it. It was about a 45-minute presentation. And a buddy of mine buys the machine, takes it to Houston. I'm still a customer, right? But at least I had him as a referral. He gets so excited about what the water does for his parents. He exposes 50 people in the first 30 days, Danny Ciccarella. And he gets 28 sales in the first month.
Wow.
So what did I get show up in the mailbox? 28 checks, right?
Yes.
My machine was more than paid for in the first 30 days. So I started thinking, wow, Danny Ciccarella doesn't know anything. He doesn't have any help because I'm not helping him. And there's no support in Houston, Texas. And how did he do this? Well, he just so excited about what the water did for his parents. I call it ignorance on fire, right? Yeah. He didn't need to know anything about the product. He didn't need to analyze exactly how it works. He just was so excited. He started sharing with everybody in the Houston area. He gets 50 people, not 50 people exposed in the first 30 days. That's what I call all-out massive action. And And those 50 people, he sat down and made them watch this DVD because he didn't know how to do the presentation, right? But he could press play. Who can press play? Anybody, right? So even me, right? So I started thinking, wow, okay, so I don't have to be an expert like Michael Maxwell, who we called the Waterman. I don't have to know anything because Danny Ciccarello didn't know anything. All I have to do is get that DVD in front of 50 people like Danny did. So you guys, all I did was copy what he did. Here's my exact pitch from 19 years ago. You want to hear it?
Yeah.
Exactly what I said to people on the phone. I said, I have something so important for your physical and financial health. You need to see it. That was my pitch. That's it. Simple, right? What if they ask me, what is it? I go, I can't tell you over the phone. I need to show it to you.
Mm.
Okay. I'm coming to see you Tuesday or Wednesday. What day is better for you? That's all I did, you guys. And I only had one person say no over the phone, but his name is Dobard. I said, Dobard, I'm not trying to sell you anything. I said, I have something so important for your physical, financial health. You need to see it. And I knew he was in financial trouble because back in 2007 was the crash with the mortgage industry. And he was in the mortgage business. I said, you probably can't afford to buy it anyway, so I'm not going to sell it to you, but you need to see it. He goes, oh, okay. His exact words were, I'm not writing a check for anything. Guess who ended up buying the machine? He did, of course.
Yeah.
After I got him, he was probably my most stubborn and difficult person. But he finally got involved. Because I went to his office and I actually brought my machine to his office, hooked it up. He had a 5-gallon water container. I dumped out the water. I watered his plants and I filled it with Kangen water. I told him to drink this and I'll be back to see him in like 3 days. I came back and there was like maybe 8 ounces missing. He barely drank any water in 3 days. I said, Dobard, and you wonder why you're sick and not feeling well and no energy? I go, you got to drink. So what I did was I poured the Kangen water out. I watered his plants. I said, here, I'm going to refill it again fresh because you need to drink it fresh. I go, you need to drink the water or I'm not going to make you any more water. And so next time I came back a few more days, right? Same thing, not much water drank. He didn't drink much. So I left the water bottle there. I said, listen, I'm not coming back to see you. Here's what you're going to do. Oh, no, I dumped out the water again. I watered his plants with it because I wanted fresh, right? The fresher, the better. And I made him follow me to the Enagic office, was not far from his office. I said, okay, come here. You're going to follow me because I'm through wasting my time. I go, I'm going to show you how to get your own water. And maybe you'll get serious about drinking the water. That was a Friday. By Monday, him and his wife drank so much water, they called me and they were all excited about their results. He goes, I got to get one of these machines. Okay. So he was my most difficult person. So the point is, I exposed a lot of people just like Danny Ciccarello with that simple presentation. I made him watch the DVD. I didn't know how to do the presentation. So I'm telling you guys this for a reason, because you don't have to be an expert. Some people get what I call paralysis of analysis, right? They got to learn everything first before they take action. You don't have to do that. You just take action and utilize the tools that we have to tell the story, okay? Because you have so many tools today, especially now with the, you can go online and get my demonstration. It wasn't until a couple of years later that we filmed my demonstration because I got so good at watching the DVD so many times. I watched that DVD hundreds of times, you guys. That's how I learned how to do the product demonstration, because I was showing it to people so many times. Finally, I could do it by myself, practically with my eyes closed because I watched it so many times.
And
So
what was exactly on the DVD?
Just like my product demonstration, I just
Okay.
copied it. It was the first product demonstration that we had. So exactly what I did in the original Pat Boone demonstration, it was that information.
Okay.
So now you have so many amazing demonstrations today of everyone that has copied me around the world, right? All these guys today, all the young ones, Geo, their demonstration, they all say, "Hey, I learned that from you." Mary Jane, everybody's demonstration today came from my first video, that DVD that went viral. Actually, it ended up going around the world in India, and I heard I got dubbed into many different languages. So everybody knows me around the world from that original Pat Boone demonstration that I did like 15, 16 years ago. So you guys, I exposed a lot of people. In my first 30 days, I only got 7 people to join me, right? So I wasn't as good as Danny Ciccarelli, 28 in 30 days. I only got 7. But working with those 7, we turned that into 100 sales or team members in 90 days and got to the first level of 6A, okay? And did 300,000 in volume. And that was just, simply, I would do a product demonstration 1 to 3 times a day. That was my goal, because I was just doing all out massive action. And it was fun. A friend of mine said, "Hey, something about work." I said, "Well, what are you talking about? I'm working really hard." He goes, "You don't work. You just have fun. That's a social thing you're doing at people's homes, right?" Because I did a lot of home demonstrations back then. And that's how. So because my team saw what I was doing was simple and duplicatable, that they were able to easily duplicate what I was doing, just like I duplicated what Danny Ciccarelli did. And now, you guys, ever since that the first work of those first 90 days, that's what led to Dang Nguyen and Tan and so many thousands of people. It spread to our team now has done over 300,000 sales all over the world, and growing by thousands of sales a month. We have over 2,000 6As and above on our team on a global scale. Imagine, from the effort I did the first 90 days. Now, of course, we kept doing that for actually the first couple of years, but that first 90 days, and that led into the next 2 years. And so you guys, all that work I did back then is still growing today, which has allowed me, when I met my beautiful wife and started having children, and I kind of semi-retired 13 years ago. And imagine, the business just kept growing and growing and growing and growing because of the team we built in the first 90 days to 2 years. So let me share with you, we basically all do the same thing in the business, right?
Yeah.
We share the product, we share the opportunity, and we build and promote for events. An event could be as simple as this, right? This is an event. Whether it's a live event, whether it's a home demonstration, all events are different. Some are smaller events, some are online events, and some are the big events, like coming up in Okinawa, Japan. Or some of you are going to the anniversary event in Vancouver, I heard someone say. So I've never been to Canada, so I'm excited to go to the Vancouver event. We're gonna miss Okinawa this year because I've been promising to go to, JV's been bugging me to go to Philippines. And my wife is from Philippines, and we haven't been to Philippines since before COVID. So I promised JV this year I would go to the 16-year anniversary of Philippines. So since we're doing a big trip overseas again to Philippines, we're going to skip Okinawa and then go to Canada after that. But whatever event you're promoting, those are the 3 things we all do, right? So let's talk about the first one, sharing the products. So what's the most important thing about sharing the products? First, you got to create your product story, okay? Whatever that product story is. I know privately we can say a lot more than we can on Zoom and events about our product stories. We have to kind of make it generic in a larger scale, because they call it the so-called, medical association calls it a medical claim. Okay. So we can't relate disease or anything. We can't talk about diseases, especially on a large scale. But I'll give you the answer to all questions. Okay. Over the years, someone's always called me, "Well, this person has this disease or this disease or that disease or this." I go, "I don't care what they have. It doesn't matter." I go, "Here's what the water does. The water helps to rid the body of toxins and acid waste, right? Besides the electrical charge helping to, you know, supply the electrical charge to your cells, okay? You can say generic things of what it does. It helps put the body in what all the holistic doctors I know say homeostasis, right? That just means your body's in balance. And when your body's in balance, all the organs can work more efficiently at doing what? What they're naturally designed to do, which is heal the body. That's the answer to all questions. Doesn't matter what disease someone has. I say, listen, this is what the water has the possibility to do for you. Try it and see how it works, right? That's answered all questions. You don't have to worry about diseases and all that stuff. So keep yourself free of medical claims so you don't get yourself in trouble or the company in trouble, okay? So creating your product story. So let's talk about two ways to do that. You can do it fast or you can do it slow. You can do it fast. To me was, I got rid of drinking soda. I used to love root beer, right? I used to drink at least a 6-pack a week once I saw the product demonstration. No more root beer, right? I understood the acid alkaline balance. I go, I'm not drinking something that's that acidic anymore. Now, instead of a 6-pack of root beer a week, I probably have a 6-pack of root beer in 19 years. Meaning once in a while, I'd get the urge for a root beer. I'd have a couple sips and then I'd throw the rest away. So I've had a 6-pack in 19 years, you guys. So I got serious about eliminating the super acidic things like sodas, sports drinks that I used to drink and things like that, and replaced it just with Kangen water. So, and then I started drinking the right amount of water, at least 50% of my body weight in ounces per day to 100%, right? Because I heard from Dr. Carpenter, if you drink a minimum 50% of your body weight a day, maximum 100. He used to say, if you want to see miracles happen in your life, match your weight in ounces per day. Okay. So when you do that, your product story becomes fast, right? So I had a product story of 4 different things happen in 3 to 4 weeks. So was that good if it took me 6 months to create that product story? It's okay, but it's not as good as 3 to 4 weeks, right?
Yeah.
3 to 4 weeks, it creates more value to the marketplace when sharing your story with someone. So that's why I tell you when you create, and if you haven't done a good job of creating your product story and you've been in the business a year, I don't care. You start tomorrow and you can do it all over again, right? And you can say, in the last 30 days, I started drinking this amount of water every day, and this is what happened to me in the last 30 days. So it doesn't matter how long you've been here, you can restart that story. Okay. So that's in regards to our product story. And now you guys have so many amazing product demonstrations that you can send someone a link. It's so easy today, right? Unlike when we started, we had nothing, just that one tool. So we couldn't send someone something like you guys can and are doing already, I'm sure. And so the speed of exposure today is far faster than when we started, right? Yeah. That's why people can, even though we grew fast, but here was my fast. I was putting on 4,000 miles a month on my car.
Whoa.
In the first 90 days. That's how many places I was going to do demonstrations.
So every time you took your SD501.
I did take my machine with me. Yeah. I did something kind of unique. A lot of people talk about giving water. I didn't do too much of that. Occasionally, right? But like when I would find a team member that wanted to run with me, bring my machine to their house, invite the people to their house. I'd say, same pitch, right? We got something so important for your physical, financial health. You need to get over here. And I suggest you invite anybody you care about. That was the other part of it. So they would invite people too. So it might be 5 people, 10 people. The Dr. David Lessman, House on the Beach. We started doing demos there twice a week. So what did I do? I would do twice a week and split up the days. So I never had to deliver water to anybody. They were coming to the house and refilling, right? So each place became a water depot, so to speak.
Oh, yeah.
Because I wanted to get the water fresh. So I'd do a demo every like 3 days, split up the week. Do a demo on Tuesday, maybe one on Saturday or Wednesday, Saturday. Then when I got Daniel D. McCauley, right? Same thing. Daniel was about an hour from where I was. And I took my machine to his house. Same thing. Here's what I told Daniel. I've never said this to anybody else except Daniel. You guys ready for it?
Yeah.
Because Daniel had been exposed to Enagic by someone else and invited to a demonstration at the office. But I don't know, maybe they didn't do good follow-up. This is a lesson here, you guys. Fortune in the follow-up. Daniel was already invited to a demonstration. Saw the demonstration. I don't know if they lacked follow-up with him, or for Daniel, in my mind, this is another lesson. Never prejudge anybody. I don't care who they are. I don't care if you think they're the best salesperson in the world, the biggest distributor in the world, which Daniel was to me, right? Daniel was in the industry for 30 years. I met Daniel because I got into one of his companies in 1995, a travel business that went out of business in 2 years. But that's where I first met him. So Daniel was in another company. He was starting to do really well, and he was telling me all these big plans he was going to do in that company, a company called Prepaid Legal. And so in my mind, I'm thinking, oh, Daniel's not open. He's already involved in this company. He's starting to do well. But what do you have to do? What was my mind telling me? He's not open, right? I want you guys all to do this with your hands. Guess what this means? I don't care who they are. Their window of opportunity is always going like this. Guess where you have to catch them? When it's open, right? Everybody's window is opening and closing depending on what's happening in their life. I thought his window was closed, but that can't stop you from keeping going, okay? Because you don't know for sure behind the scenes what's going on. So Daniel saw, even though I knew he was invited to a presentation already, I kept dripping on him, right? I started telling him what happened to me in the first month, the second month. Our income was so big in the second month that got his attention. He started calling me the following month. Hey, tell me a little bit about that compensation plan. I'm thinking, why is Daniel asking me about the compensation plan? In my head, right?
Yeah.
So I would answer his questions. Call me again the next day. Answer this about the compensation plan. Same thing's going on in my head. Why is Danny asking me about compensation plan? Is he comparing it to his? What's he doing? But I'm answering his questions, right? The third day, he calls me up. He said, can you come over to the house and lay out the entire compensation plan? I go, okay, I'll be there tomorrow. After I hung up the phone, I knew exactly Daniel was interested. Something was going on with his other company, right? And so I went and showed him the compensation plan. He said, this is the best compensation plan I've ever seen in my 30 years in the industry. If this water does what you say it does, I'm in. So what was happening behind the scenes, he was in that other company for 6 months. He needed to make a certain amount of money every month, right? Just for his expenses. You know, lives in a multi-million-dollar house in Newport Beach, and he had a certain amount he needed to make every month. Evidently, I didn't know it, but he wasn't hitting that target in 6 months. So what happened when I dropped the story on him the second month? That was double the amount he needed for his expenses.
Wow.
So it got his attention, right? I knew exactly what he was thinking. If Bob can do it, I know I can do better.
And did he?
So what do we want people in this business, right? We want people that are better than us.
Yeah.
Right? It's no shame here, right? Recruit as many people that are 10 times better than you and watch how your business grows. So here's the point I was getting to. I told Daniel, I asked him this. I've never asked anybody else. I said, get me 5 of your sickest friends and family to be over the house on Thursday. Why did I ask him that question? because I knew the more people that had issues, I wanted it, because what did he ask me? If this water does what you say it does. I mean, granted, if someone's healthy, they can notice more, energy. But I wanted him to see results quick from those people. So his first 5 were Dr. Lee, Al Dorsey, some of his old friends that were up in age, his aunt, his mom, and I can't remember who the 5th person was. But anyways, my plan worked because all those people started getting results within the first 3 days. They started noticing things, right? And then when they came back to refill, I said, bring your containers. I'll be doing another demo at Daniel's on, Saturday. And I said, invite people you care about. So next presentation, there were 10. So I kept doing that.
So every time they took their containers to fill with
That's what I said. It became a water depot, right? I didn't have to deliver water like Daniel talks about, but he has an excuse for doing that. So I had them come to me wherever I was doing the demonstration, refill every 3 days, so it was fresh. I wanted to get the best results possible. And that's kind of how it took off with me. I'm not saying you guys have to do your business that way, because so many people are doing business just online today, right? Which is amazing to me. And so that's what we did back then, because that's all we had, right? No social media, no tools like we had. That's what we had. So back then it was getting Mr. Oshiro's, human-based marketing. That's what we were taught. And so that's what we did. So that's how we built our whole business. Unlike today, you can do it. Now you can do a hybrid business. If you like doing face-to-face, you can, right? If you like doing demonstrations, you can, but it's not necessary. Or you can do both. You can do a combination. I just shot a video for the True Health Lifestyle about my story, because they wanted me to interject, because what I'm hearing about a lot of the online organizations are, some people are getting involved in those and not making money for a year because they're only learning one way to do the business. And it's not easy always to learn if you're not familiar with online. And then you got to run paid advertisements and you're spending money, right? And so someone can spend a lot of money and not see any money. So they wanted me to do a video while they're going through the process of the trainings in the True Health Lifestyle system. Then I interject and say, hey, I welcome them to the team, share my story. And I say, listen, while you're waiting for your product to arrive, go to the product. We have a product training, right? And I explained in there, I said, I'm going to share with you what you can do in the meantime, just to expose people, while you're learning the online part of this business, so that there's kind of a hybrid way if they choose to. If someone wants to do totally online, that's up to them. If they want to, I shared, because the product works so well and I got such great results, who am I going to share it with? The people I care about or perfect strangers? To me, it was the best thing I ever discovered for your health. So I'm going to, of course, for me, I'm going to share with the people I care about, my family, my friends, my closest circle, because I want them to benefit like I was benefiting, right? I'm not going to keep it to myself and now, try to run ads and find people I don't know, which is more challenging, because you got to build a relationship first, right? It's all about building relationships, because people will buy from someone they like and trust. Okay. So that's what I shared in the True Health Lifestyle system. When you guys start going through some of the training modules, you'll see that. So that's just how we built our business, you guys. And now we have a business that's done, like I said, over 300,000 sales, which equates to about $1 billion in business around the world. So that's the first thing we do, share the story. Now, what else do? We share the business, right? We share the product, we share the opportunity.
You got ready.
So in that process of when we were using the DVD to share the product, we also had a part in there that shared the compensation plan. So I would say, here's what I would ask people. Who's interested in physical health? They'd show me a show of hands. Who's interested in financial health? Who's interested in both? Most people are interested in both, right? So we just showed them the compensation plan to show them there was a way when you bought this technology, you got an international ID number. It was like a business in a box. Okay. So if they chose to, they could share it, and I would always tell them, hey, it only takes about 10 referrals and your machine is free. And who likes free? Everybody, right? So we would expose people to the product and the opportunity all at the same time. You can't believe how many people I've met throughout the years that have had our product, but didn't know there was a compensation plan attached to it because nobody told them. They didn't know there was a business. So the whole idea of Enagic is physical health, financial health, right? Which brings you peace of mind or mental health. I add in there spiritual health. That's how you have a balanced life, right? And a stress-free life if all that's in balance. And so that's how we expose people to the product and the business all at the same time. So I never expose someone to just the product because you don't know, right? You don't know what's their interest yet. Are they interested in physical health, financial health, or both? And you might want to ask them that question. Then you know what to expose them to. But I expose everybody because everybody wants a discount, right? Everybody, right? So if you had someone ask, hey, can you give me a discount? I say, no, I can't give you a discount because the company doesn't allow it. It's against policies and procedures. I could get terminated for doing that. Okay. And what's the other reason you don't want to try to do that? Because now you spread that message to your team, and what do they start doing? Everybody starts doing something they're not supposed to be doing. And then they start affecting everybody's commissions, right?
Yeah.
So I share with someone, I said, we don't give discounts. I just told someone this yesterday. He's Indian descent, right? He wanted to know about a discount. And I told him the exact same thing. I said, listen, better than a discount, how'd you like to get your machine for free? Everybody says yes, right? Let me show you what we're going to do. It only takes 10 referrals and your machine is free. So that's much better than a discount, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
And plus you're going to help people at the same time. So that's what we do there. So you share the product, now your business story. So we had a quick business story, right? Now I'm going to share the same thing like product. You can go fast or you can go slow. What's better? If my story happened in 6 months to a year, it's good, but it's better my story happened in 90 days, right? Fast, more value to the marketplace once again. If I had a slow story, I would have never got Daniel D. McCauley. See, my fast story created value to him because he wanted the same thing, right? That's what he was looking for. So you create a fast story by what I did was all out massive action. I didn't do one demo a week, 2 demos a week, right? I was doing 1 to 3 demos per day. So now it's easy to do that, right? Because you can do it all online. How easy it to send out a demo, a presentation to someone, you can do 10 a day so easy, right? Yeah. Compared to me, you don't have to, I could be sitting right here and send out 10 presentations a day to 10 different people. It's so easy to expose people today. So all out massive action, no matter how you do it, creates a faster story, which creates value. Now, same thing as product. If you've been in business for a while, a year, 2 years, I don't care, 5 years, you can start tomorrow and create a whole new story. Do all out massive action, you create a better story. Hey, we can't talk really about money, right? I had 10 sales this month. That's a good story, right? I had 10 sales this month, which equated to, what dollars in business. What we can do, privately is different from what we can do publicly. It's legally okay. And with the company, I can say my team had $5 million in sales this month. Nothing wrong with saying that. You can be brand new and say I had 10 sales, let's say 5,000. I had $50,000 in sales this month. That's not an income claim because that's saying what happened in sales. I had 10,000 in sales this week, right?
Mm.
That's not an income claim. That's just saying what sales were. So that's what you can do in regards to your business story. If it was too slow, you can start all over and create a whole new one. Every month you can do that, right? The good thing about we're in business for ourselves, right? But not by ourselves. I can fire myself today and turn around and rehire myself tomorrow, right? And do it all over again, create a whole new story. So you guys, so the third thing we do is what we promote events. So most people don't understand the value of events. But events, I learned a long time ago from one of my mentors. He said, if you want to, and this is a guy who had a business doing $1 billion a year in sales in his organization. He said, if you want to build your business the fastest, the largest, and have the most fun, it's all about promoting and getting as many team to an event. So, example, if you, let's say the last event I went to is the Italy event, right? They had 1,200 people there. And when I was done with my part on stage, because I was talking exactly about this, 3 things, we all do the same thing. You just got to stick around and learn to do those 3 things well, or use the tools that do it well for you, right? Well, I had everyone raise their hands. I said, who wished they had 10 more people sitting in seats next to you at this event? Everybody's hand went up, right? I said, of course, because you had top leaders from around Europe, the United States, and you're sitting in a seat, and all you had to do is put people in seats next to you, and they got the best training they could possibly get, and you didn't have to do the training, right? And all they had to do was purchase a ticket to be there, which is a very small amount, whatever the event ticket was, right? Maybe it's $200-$300, whatever. I mean, for some people to get in front of trainings like that, they'd have to spend thousands of dollars, right? If you go outside of eNagic and trying to get that training from, someone else outside of eNagic. So the more people you can get to events, and I'll teach you how he taught me to promote an event. It didn't matter. I heard him say this 1,000 times for so many different events. He would always say the same thing. He would say, this is going to be the biggest and most exciting event the company's ever had in their history. It could be an event last year, this year, next year, the following year. It was always the same, right? And he said, this will be the event that could change your life. That was also what he added to there. Because guess what? He believed in his own mind that this could be the event that changed their life. Because you never know what story from all the speakers that get up on stage, you don't know what story that your guest is going to relate to that says, wow, if he can do it, I can do it. And that's the power of the events and the stories, right? Whether that's online, you might be an event online or in person. That's the power of the event for getting to your people, all the different stories that they see that they could do it too. All right? Does that make sense? Okay. So you guys, do you want to do, I know it's, you guys probably keep this to an hour. We're coming up. Do you want to do something, a quick Q&A?
Yes.
Okay.
If you want to ask a question, please raise your hand and unmute yourself.
Don't be shy, because this is an opportunity. You got me here right now.
Exactly. Or you can write your question in the chat.
Yeah, put it in the chat. Sabine will ask me if you don't want to come out and ask. But don't be shy. New Zealand. I was in New Zealand in 2018. Love it there.
I have a question here from Barbara. Can I join the business without buying the Enagic water?
Can you
Mhm.
join the business without buying what?
The Enagic water, I suppose the machine.
The machine? Oh, someone looking for the first time? They don't have a machine right now?
So she
Barbara?
says, yes, she says she has a machine, but from a different brand, I guess. Barbara,
Mhm.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, unmute yourself and yeah, explain.
Yes. So I have a different machine from Virgin Pure,
okay.
yeah, which I'm using at the moment, and I pay every month. So can I join the business without buying the Energic machine?
So, answer to that question is yes. You have to buy one of our products to get
Okay.
an international ID number.
Okay.
But to me, the machine is no matter, we have Kangen Ukon, we have a Nespa, we have, different things in different parts of the world, the M Guard. To me, the number one product still to this day is our Kangen water units because there's no other units made like them in the world. And that's the unit that produces the results that people feel. Like, look at me. I'm 68 years old, you guys. I've been taking different kinds of supplements my whole life. You name it, I've tried it. I never feel anything from the products I've ever taken my whole life. It's only Kangen water that I noticed a difference physically right away. And that's what gets people's attention. If if I started drinking Kangen water and I might not have noticed anything, it might not have been a big deal for me to start sharing, what I felt.
Mm.
But because of noticing the power of the water, you know, when you understand the science behind electrolyzed reduced water and the power of our machine over any other machines, then to me, that's the number one product you have to have in your home. Now, if someone can't afford to buy it yet, they're working their way towards you can get with the person who invited you. There's ways for you to start, you know, uh, there's ways to earn a machine if someone can't afford it. I've never really used that too much. Or you can get a lesser expensive product to get an ID number. But to me, it's kind of hard to sell something that you're not experiencing yourself, not unless the person who's introducing you, it lives close to you and you're drinking the water from them and you can experience the results. That would be the only way I would probably say that would work. But you got to get excited about what the product's doing for you. Like I said, Danny Ciccarella, ignorance on fire. If he didn't see the results his parents got, he wouldn't have gone out and felt like he had to expose 50 people in the first 30 days. If he didn't do that, I might not have probably got excited because I wouldn't have seen that story. And I may not even have started, who knows?
Okay.
Okay.
Next
Thank you.
question. Yeah. It's okay, Barbara?
Yes. It's
Okay.
fine. Thank you.
First, I have another question from Susan in the UK. If I organize an event of 50 plus people, can I invite you to demonstrate to them virtually?
Oh, virtually, yeah. Just
Yeah.
on a Zoom.
Yeah.
I don't do too many demonstrations on Zoom. I don't think you need to do that nowadays. You can plug and play, just show them the product demonstration first. If you have 50 people on a Zoom, play a product demonstration. Geo does there's so many that are better than mine even. Giordano's is amazing. Because with technology, they've added stuff in about the plastic bottle waters and so
Yeah.
much better. I would play, his is like 19 minutes only too. I would play the product demonstration for that group of 50. And then you could have me on to share a story and come on. That's what I would
Wow.
do.
Oh, wow. Okay. Super.
If you can put 50 people on, I would agree to do
Wow.
that.
She's having her California team is on fire. So
Oh,
Shan is
okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Please
Hey,
do. I
this
too will
goes
do
out to
that.
all of you. If any of you can put 50 people on a Zoom, I'll be on it.
okay.
Thank you. Thank you. Because I'm planning that. I'm planning that.
wow, Stella
Okay.
Marie, she burning a Germany as well.
Because I can sit in the comfort of my office and build my business around the world.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Woo.
I don't
Can
have
I
to
ask a
do, I don't have to
question?
drive 4,000 miles a month anymore.
Yeah. Shiroma, you
Can I?
raised
I
your
think
hand.
I
Sorry,
think Shan, maybe Shan go
Shiroma.
first. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I heard about the ounces that you have to drink per day per kilogram of your body weight. Is it per day to be effective with the Kangen water? That's number one question. So
So
if a person is 60 kilograms, he has to drink 60 ounces of the Kangen water to have the medical effect, or
so this comes from every holistic doctor that I know.
okay.
That your normal consumption of water, because you see all these things, you need to drink 8 glasses of water a day, right?
Yes, yes.
Well, that's not necessarily true, because someone may weigh 100 pounds and someone
Mhm.
weighs 300 pounds. So that doesn't work for everybody, does it?
Nah.
So there's a formula that all the holistic doctors I know of, it's half your body weight in ounces per day. I don't know what that is in kilograms because we use ounces here.
Okay.
You can translate that. Half your body weight in kilograms a day, whatever that is,
Uh-huh.
to a maximum of, 100% of your body weight in ounces. So it depends on what
Okay.
someone's drinking else throughout the day. It depends, as long as they don't have any water restrictions,
Mm-hmm.
from their doctor or something like that. But then if someone's brand new starting to drink water from their machine, I always recommend they start off on 8.5,
Yeah.
because you don't know how toxic they are, or,
Yeah.
how acidic
Yeah.
they are. So they don't have such a harsh detox.
Yeah.
When I started,
Yes.
I went straight to 9.5 because I wanted to feel something. So I knew I was pretty healthy. I had a slight headache for 2 days, but I go, hey, the water's working. So I'm going to push through
Nah.
it.
Yeah. Yeah. I had a slight headache for 2 days and a bit of diarrhea, but now I'm on
Yeah.
9.5, pretty good. Okay, you absolutely look a very young 68-year-old. I must say. And my question is, if you go around with the machine to demonstrate, do you have difficulty trying to fit the faucets? Because I'm going to have a lot of difficulty because I'm no mechanical minded. How do you overcome that?
Okay. So in the beginning, that was challenging, because while the people were watching that 45-minute DVD,
Yeah.
I said, hey, you guys are going to watch this? I'll be right back. I'd have to find the local hardware store, Home Depot, and I would run and try to find stuff. One time I had to use a garden hose, and I found something that screwed on the end of a garden hose. I could shove the hose on the end one time. But today we have, just like I spent 5 weeks traveling all over Europe, right? Mostly Italy.
Yeah.
Airbnbs, all my hotels, I don't know how many places, maybe 8 different places.
Yes.
I was able to hook up my K8 100% of the places using all the little adapters that I have from Ion Faucet. I don't know if you guys know about Ion Faucet. They're here in America, but they sell supplies. Beside Enegic has some adapters, but I don't think they have as many as Ion Faucet does. Ion Faucet has a whole kit, this plastic kit that has so many different adapters. I've used that all over the world and almost always works. Maybe 10% of the time is some kind of faucet that doesn't even have something to screw off, the fancy faucet that doesn't work.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And when you give people, the 5 liter, is this a Kangen water, specialized Kangen water container that you give to people to drink? or just any container?
When I started, we used whatever we could get. I would go to the grocery
Okay.
store. I go to the
Yeah.
grocery store and buy gallons of water and just dump them out and use those
Okay.
gallons. Then I started finding a water supply store
Yeah.
that supplied all kinds of bottles. And then we
Yeah.
actually, we had a place where we could go buy 45 1-gallon jugs that had locking tops, and we get them for like $45 a case. Or it was pretty cheap. We were getting them pretty cheap. Then I started doing that. Then I started, sometimes I said, hey, bring your own container. Some people bring
Yeah.
3-gallon containers, whatever. We did
Yeah.
whatever it
Okay.
took back then.
Right.
Now I
Thank
don't do
you.
too much of that anymore.
Okay. Thank you.
Oh, now I use those fancy water bags that they make now.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
You're very welcome.
Shiroma, please.
Mr. Thomas, I have a question for you. And I know you're a big boss in Enagic. Right.
Nope, I'm just
Right.
a
My question is,
little old distributor like you.
yeah, my question is, if you could start again from zero today, what would you do differently?
Oh, wow. Differently? I probably wouldn't have to drive 4,000 miles a month and do home demonstrations all over the place, because now I would start utilizing the online space and sending someone, demos using Zoom. So much easier today. So I would probably do a little bit of both, though, because I still like face-to-face. I still like, getting in front of people, even though this is like getting in front of people. But I still like, the only thing you can't do when you're not face to face, you can show all the properties of the water, they can see it, but they can't taste the tomatoes, the difference.
Okay.
Right? So I would do a combination still of both if I were starting today. I would learn the online space, expose people, because now you can, it's so easy all the online groups have proved that you can build a massive business, in Balaz's organization, just some things I would do different. I think a lot of them aren't, you guys mentioned one of them. A lot of them don't operate. That's why we came out with True Health Lifestyle, because it's going to be an ethical, compliant platform that lets you talk about the products and the business and exposes people. It doesn't hide the fact that we're Enagic, that it's Kangen water. I heard some of the groups do that, and I don't know how that can work, because if you're promoting a product, how can you not talk about it? Right?
Exactly.
So,
Yeah.
but the online groups have proven that you can sell a high ticket product through online activities, through advertising, through meeting people, through getting on Zooms. So yeah, but there's some things I would change about what some of them are doing. Matter of fact, we're meeting with the president of Enagic USA to talk about that. Daniel and I on Wednesday. We're having lunch.
Wow. Okay, I have another question. I am struggling to make my first sale. There is so much competition. Most of them spend money on promoting through ads. I get people who inquire, but the moment they know they need to invest, they go back.
So is this through totally online? People
Rachel?
they know or people they don't know?
Yes, it is online completely. Yes, Rob.
Online. So you don't have a relationship with them yet, right?
No, I'm very new. I just joined 1.5 months back. I get a lot of inquiries on Facebook. I think I've got around 25 to 30, but nobody gets back to me back.
So 25 to 30, you're not running ads though, right?
No, we're not running ads.
It's just from your organic posting?
Yes.
Okay, and are these people you know or don't know?
No, I don't know anyone.
Oh, okay, just organic postings, but you don't know them. So here's the thing about online, and I haven't done much of that myself, you guys. Posting my lifestyle around the world, people inquire, right? But I don't care how you're meeting people, whether it's in person or online, you have to build a relationship with them. I don't think too many people aren't going to buy direct from a post or an ad. Even I know I watch some of the online advertisements that the guys are doing. A lot of them are building a list by whatever their postings are doing. They're building a constant list, and some of those people are just watching them for, could be a year, 2 years, whatever, before they're finally seeing and taking action on something. So even online, they're building that relationship with them by seeing their posts. But sometimes it takes a while, right? Because they're still developing a relationship. They see the person, they go, oh, this guy seems pretty honest. This guy, I like what this guy's posting. Or maybe I'm finally going to reach out to him after a year or 2 years or whatever. So that's the thing. You have to still build the relationship with people, no matter how you meet them. That's why I did the training on the True Health Lifestyle System on while someone's learning the online space, maybe they should implement just like I did, because to me, I want to expose this to the people I care about most, right? That's my friends and family. So that's an option because you have credibility with your friends and family, right? You just may have to show them, besides the demonstration, they may need to see some, the science behind it. They need to see, the facts on, they can go search electrolyzed reduced water and see that on PubMed, because that's a scientific, word for our water. They may want to see, I'll give you guys something you can search. If you ever need something for credibility, like I had the Indian two couples at my house the other day, and I showed them, the Geo's demonstration online on my TV, but one of them was an engineer. So I knew, okay, this guy's going to have a lot of questions about, the science, the technology, how it's manufactured. Before he could ask me one question, I said, here, I want you to watch something else. You guys can search on YouTube or just Google Ron Hicks, founder of Herd X, or it could be Ron Hicks and Kangen Water. Ron Hicks, if you've never seen this, actually, whoever's from New Zealand, Ron spoke at our event in New Zealand in 2018. I gave him the stage for 15 minutes to share his story. And it's an amazing story from a guy who's invents medical devices. And he has the best engineers in the world that invents things for him. And it's an amazing story of how his wife bought a machine and he had his engineers take it apart to find a flaw in it. And he tells the story of how they couldn't find a flaw. They said it's overbuilt, and they all bought a machine from his wife. All 10 of them. So I show that to someone who might need to see, coming from someone else. This guy, you couldn't get a better person telling you. He's an inventor of medical devices. And he talks about how it cost him $30 million to invent a medical device. So he said, you guys don't know what you have in your hands, and you only have to buy a machine to get that. And now you have a business in the box to market this thing. Granted, we don't say it's a medical device, but it's manufactured as medical grade in Japan, right? So I highly recommend, if you need credibility, you use his 15-minute speech he did at our event in New Zealand.
Super.
Ron from Herd X. That's his company has now, Herd X.
Thank you.
Stella Maris has a question.
Okay. I have two
You guys,
questions.
if you search Ron Hicks on Kangen Water, it'll pop up.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Yep.
Okay, I have two questions. One, I've pasted it on the chat group. Second one is, I have this bottle. I always put water, but I don't know how long water will last in it.
That bottle, I have one of those bottles.
Is it also Kangen?
Wait, of course. I don't drink anything else. That bottle's
No, I
very
mean
small.
the bottle. I mean the
Yeah,
bottle itself. Is it also Kangen bottle? I know it's Kangen bottle. I mean inside. Does it store water like a machine?
how long will the water last?
Yeah, something like that.
No, number one, that shouldn't have to last long because you should be drinking that pretty quick.
Like if I'm going out,
Yeah.
I know I'll stay the whole day.
Oh, the whole day. Well, that shouldn't last you a whole day. You should be able to drink about 3-4 of those in a day. So,
Exactly.
but here's an answer to your question. I did an experiment when I first got started. I was excited when I got my ORP meter, right? So I did an experiment with, I made 9.5. I put it in a plastic bottle that was clear. I put it in and then I put it in a dark glass bottle. And I tested the ORP and see how long it would last. And in most cases, the alkalinity lasts, a number of days, could last 4 days. But 3 things affect the water: air, light, UV light, and rapid movement. Okay. So if you have a clear bottle, the sun is affecting the water, UV light. If you have a dark bottle, it's better. But the ORP in a sealed glass bottle that was dark, no UV light, the ORP lasted, it slowly diminished, but it lasted a number of days.
Good to
So yeah,
know.
in essence, you could, if you wanted to make 3 of those and you're going around all day and that's going to be your water to drink, yeah, it's going to last, especially for that first day too.
Thank you so much. My second question is, I have so many leads that are really interested in the business, but the problem is they are not so sure that they are going to make it. Some of them don't have problem in buying the product, but they need to be sure that they will be earning soon.
They don't have a problem buying the product.
Yeah, but they really want me to convince them that they will be making it.
You can't convince anybody that they will make it. You know why? Because they have to convince themselves that they can make it.
Okay.
It's all, you can share what you can with them. You can share stories of other people that, make it, but you don't know, are they willing to take action? Do they have the mindset? That's why with our new True Health Lifestyle System, there's a section on mindset. I would put them through that. They can have access to the free part of the training. Yeah, someone needs to, if someone has an employee mindset, they need to convert that employee mindset to an entrepreneur mindset.
Okay.
So they have to, they have to be able to do some things themselves. But it starts with getting the machine. I would get the machine, and the machine is going to help them to get convinced that this is the greatest thing that's ever come out for health. So now if you have the greatest thing that's ever come out for health, in my mind, it is, to take charge of their own health. And if they have that in their home, they're going to get excited about it. And then they'll understand a little bit better about, if they're not willing to take that first step. First of all, they gotta want to have physical health themselves. So if they're willing to buy the product and they understand the value of the product, they need to just start, take action. That's the first step. If they want to make money, the first step is taking action to buy the product so they can get their whole household the optimal health.
Okay. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. See, when I expose people, I never asked anybody if they wanted to buy. Remember, I said I have something so important for your physical and financial health. You have to see it. Now you expose them. If they can buy it, they need to start.
Okay,
Exactly.
thank you. You just taught us something here. Ask the people, what do you want? Do you want physical health or you want financial health? I've got that.
Most people want both. We have.
Yeah, I'll use it.
Remember, it's not about selling someone, it's about solving their problems. Okay. You just you just told me you have this problem, that problem, that problem. Doesn't matter what it is, right? You just told me you have this problem with your health or that, right? Okay, so you told me you have that problem. I have something that can help you. Let's go. Let's take action. I'm going to help you solve your problem. I have something that'll help you. Okay, I'm not making enough money, or I hate my job. I don't have enough time with my family. Okay, were you serious about that, or are you just kidding around? I got something that can help you.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Let's go. We got to take action. If you're really serious about solving that problem, let's go. Let's get the machine.
Okay, next question. Kidney problem, cannot drink this water. I've read it in the K8 machine manual book. What about liver problem?
When they have some kind of problem, they just have to ask their doctor, what's my water restrictions?
Okay.
That's it. Yeah. They have a problem. What's my water restrictions? How much water can I drink a day?
Okay. Yeah, because I have the similar question. Can someone with kidney problems drink this water?
They have to drink water or they die. So same question again. Ask your doctor, what's my water restrictions?
Yeah. Okay. Nonye, you raised your hand.
Yes, I did. Yes, I did. Yeah. Thank you so much, sir. I have just a very simple question. I always get confused. I'm running an ad at the moment, and I always get this question from leads. And the question is, tell me more about this business and what is my responsibility. I get confused. I don't really, honestly speaking, I don't know exactly the correct answer to give. And like this slogan of yours, which you started, I have something very important for your physical and financial health. Assuming I present something like that and someone asks me, tell me more, I want to know more about this business.
Sure.
How do I explain it?
You need to use a tool. Use one of the tools to expose them to the compensation plan, or whatever it is you're using. Since you're running ads, how did you come in through an ad?
Okay.
How did you come in? How did you come in the business?
Through an ad. I saw an ad.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So you want to use whatever tools that we have to expose someone to, so I got the guy was over the other night. I showed him the demonstration. Then I sent him from our EWS website 9 avenues of income.
Okay.
I sent him some videos to watch. I also sent him Gio's new compensation plan.
Okay.
So if people are interested in making money, they need to say, well, how do I make the money? So you have to send them something that explains that.
All right.
If you don't want to try to do it yourself, it's easier to let the tools do the work.
Yeah, and we also 3 times a week we also are hosting info meetings.
Oh, you do?
Zoom info meetings.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So do you do like the slides with the business opportunity about Enagic and everything?
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
And
That's perfect.
we show the demonstration of the machine also.
Oh, awesome. There you go. Is that
Yeah.
person on your team who just asked the question?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, okay. You got to plug him into those presentations. You're going to hear about the business right there.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you.
Remember, you're in business for yourself, but not by yourself.
Exactly. Anyone else has a question? I don't see anything more in the chat.
Yeah, Martina has a question.
Okay, sorry.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can unmute yourself, Martina.
I thank you so much. It's been a wonderful presentation so far. I have my notepad here. I've been taking a lot of notes. There are a lot of, you kind of gave us some sort of insights. I really do appreciate that. So my question is this, I'm thinking outside the box. So there are many fairs, like the street fairs or whatever that will be coming up in my community and county this summer. Would it be advisable to promote my Kengen business opportunity at this event, even though I would need to rent a booth or a stand? What would you advise based on your experience? Thank you so much.
What kind of event is it?
They have they have some sort of health and wellness fairs that are coming up. They have, I just go on the internet, I kind of Google what fairs are coming up in my area. This was something I started thinking about because I had to think outside the box,
Sure.
So I started, Googling to see what events are coming up in my community. And I know there are a couple of them coming up in June. So I'm thinking, how do I go about this? Yes, I have to rent a booth, but I'm thinking, how do I go about this? So I'm just asking, what would you advise?
So I didn't do a lot of, me personally, I didn't really do health fairs or anything. When I used to live at the beach in Hermosa Beach. So I did used to do this though. I would sponsor the water for the professional beach tennis tournaments. Yeah, they have what's called beach tennis. And I would set up a booth there because they would let me set up a booth, and because I would sponsor the water for the players.
Okay.
So I would have a number of 5-gallon containers, and just to expose people, and people would come down and watch the tournaments. And but it's a way of exposing people, but I never really did much with like the health fairs. But some people like to do that though.
Okay.
So it is a way of exposing people. You just have to be, you might get leads there. You got to follow up with them, like anything. Same thing, no matter how you meet them in person, you meet them online, you got to build relationships and keep following up with them, drip on them. And, you got to turn a stranger into a friend,
Of course.
and then a friend into a business partner.
Of course. So I have another question. I'm sorry. So would you, since you said, would you be recommended or advisable for me? Because I have those Energic pouches, like the 5 ml pouches. Would you be like, if I want to do something like that, do you think maybe I could fill those up and I have like 10 of them, fill them up and just maybe put it on the stand and then see what happens? Would you advise me to do that?
You mean if you're going to do that event?
Yes, if I'm going to do any of those events.
The only way I would do that is give someone a water like that is if I had someone, that was serious at my booth, they're going to give me their name, they're going to give me their phone number, email. And I'm going to be able to follow up with them. I'm not just going to pass out bags to anybody. It's got to be someone that started to engage in a conversation, is listening to you, is interested in what you're saying.
And
you have a sheet there where you're going to get, take down their name, phone number, email.
Information.
Yep.
Okay, great.
And
Thank you so much.
Then I would plug them into, are you guys using the EWS websites?
Yes, I have that as well. Yes.
So then I would also
plug the email.
I would plug that information into, say I'm going to send you a free ebook, on the product. I'll send you a free ebook on the opportunity also. Yeah. So now you got them locked into the autoresponder.
Okay.
So besides you following up, they're being followed up by EWS.
Okay then. Thank you so much.
Remember, fortune in the follow-up. Sometimes it takes 7 or more exposures before someone's ready.
Right. Okay, great. Thank you so much. I appreciate you answering these questions. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Someone is asking you, Bob, do you still use the same machine from 20 years ago?
Wow. So 19 years ago, I think I gave that one away. So someone else is still using it.
Okay.
The oldest machine I have, I think I still have my Platinum, which is about 15 years old.
Wow.
Yeah. Sometimes I use that one for travel or, but that one's 15 years old.
Yeah.
I've seen a machine come into the office once for service that was over 20 years old.
Wow. Yeah, it is good quality. It's high quality. So
That's the beauty of our technology.
yeah.
We used to always say this when, and it happened to me last year with the big fires in California. We used to always say in the demo, if someone's house burned down, guess what's the first thing they'd want to replace? And I got that call. I got that call last year from a Dr. O's daughter. She calls me up and she goes, "Hey, my sister's house burned down in the Altadena fires. She wants to order another machine right away."
Wow.
When you use our technology in your life, how do you live without it?
Yeah, that's true.
You can't. First things you want to replace.
Yeah.
All right. Are we wrapping up?
Yeah.
I think I have to go. My family's ready.
Okay. Well, Bob, thank you so much for your time here. I think everyone has been inspired by everything that you have exposed here. So yeah, very, very thankful, very grateful to have met you here, and hope to see you very soon.
My
And
pleasure. My departing words. My departing words are, you guys, just stick around long enough. Never, ever, ever quit.
okay,
Yes.
super.
Amen.
Yep.
See you soon. Thank you,
All right.
Thank you so
See you
much.
soon.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Nice meeting
Bye-bye.
everybody.
Thank you so much.
Thank
Bye.
You're
you.
welcome.
Thank you.